We are in Chapter 12 of the Constitution of Kenya, Financial Issues. Wakili Danstan Omari bringing it to you live in Court Helicopter. The question of procurement. People supplying goods and services to government, either national government or county government. What does the law, what does the Constitution deal with procurement? This is an avenue for corruption. Many people have been arrested and charged under the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Act, have been charged because of procurement. Both government officers and business ladies and businessmen. What do you need to know so that you do not get arrested for providing services to your county government, for providing materials or supplies to the county government? I'll take time to give you the principles as provided for in Article 227 of the Constitution of Kenya. When a state organ or any other public entity contracts for goods or services, it shall do so in accordance with a system that is fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. During the COVID time, people were being called to bring masks. This person has never been dead. You walk to the county government, your relative works there. He gives you an LPO. You go and supply. You are not pre-qualified. So, anybody in the county government and national government authorized to do procurement, the principles for you to listen today is that must be fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. Then, B, during procurement, the youth, the Gen Z, the marginalized, those who are weak, how does Article 227 help you? Because you have heard people say 30% of government procurement must go to people who are youth, who are Gen Zs, who are disabled, who are marginalized. Where is that provision? Article 227b says every procurement must protect for the advancement of persons, categories of persons, or groups previously disadvantaged by unfair competition or discrimination. So, if you are a young person, if you are a widowed woman, if you are a gender lady, go to the county government. There's 30% allocation for tenders. Company registration for these groups is easier. Banks will give loan easier. It will allow the youth and the marginalized group to do government tenders. That is now a constitutional requirement that at least 30% of all county and national government tenders to be there. Suppose you misbehave. What are the sanctions provided for those suppliers, for those contractors who do a shoddy job? You are given to build a road, you get cow dung and smear road and say, this is a tarmac road. You are told to supply some chemicals to a county government. You take chalk, produce it as a supply. You are told to produce cement. You go and get sand and produce it. A few months ago, we saw people being given seeds. Instead of the seeds to be planted, they were given some cow dung of animals. What does the law say about that? says, if you are found to have flouted procurement rules, Article 227C says, you will be given sanctions against contractors that have not performed according to professionally regulated procedures, contractual agreements, or legislation. You will be sanctioned. D says, if you are a person, the sanctions against persons who have defaulted on their tax obligation or have been guilty of corrupt practices or serious violations of fair employment laws and practices. If you have failed to pay taxes, you'll never be given a government contract. If you have employed some people and you have never paid them salary, they will complain, you'll never be given a contract. So employers, pay your employees. If you fail to pay an employee tax, your salary, you will never get any employment, any contract. Let me repeat it. I know people are doubting that. My good friend Vivian tells me, repeat it please, for the benefit of everybody. Sanctions will be issued against persons who have defaulted, 1, on their tax obligations, 2, have been guilty of corrupt practices. If you have ever been convicted of any corrupt related cases, you'll never have any business with government. 3, or serious violations of fair employment laws and practices. Vivian, now I've answered you. It is fair employment laws. These are, have you given your employees maternity leave? Have you given your employees leave? Do you pay your employees what you have agreed? Do you pay your employees the terms of employment? If you don't, the employees, now you know, whenever your employer applies to get a job, write a letter to the county government complaining that he employed you, she employed you, she sacked you, she never paid you. That company will not get any business from either the county government or the national government. Only these come from Court Helicopter, because our job is to educate you on your rights. Now, the Constitution provides for constitutional officers in the financial sector. Remember, we dealt with, number 1, the independent office of the ODPP under Article 157. We have dealt with the controller of budgets. Now we are dealing with financial institutions that have constitutional mandate under the Finance Chapter 12. The first one is the controller of budget. This one is created under Article 228. The controller of budget says there shall be a controller of budget who shall be nominated by the president with approval of parliament. The controller of budget, 4, what is her job or his job? The controller of budget shall oversee the implementation of the budgets of the national and county governments by authorizing withdrawals from public funds under this act. And the controller shall not approve any withdrawal from a public fund unless satisfied that the withdrawals is authorized by law. The controller of budget must approve any withdrawal from the budget. The budgets have been done by the county assembly. The budgets have been done by the national government. Any withdrawal from any county government of money or any withdrawal from the national government, the controller of budget must put that signature. A very, very powerful control service. The second office is the Auditor-General under Article 229. The Auditor-General in 2294 what is her or his mandate. The Auditor-General says within 6 months after the end of each financial year, the Auditor-General shall audit and report in respect of that financial year, well, the accounts of the national and county government. Within 6 months after the close of the financial year, the Auditor-General must account books of the national and county government. The Auditor-General will account all books of government functions. She will account books of all the courts in this country, all courts, money that went to the judiciary, money that went to independent officers, money that went to the ODPP officers, money that went to the National Assembly, money that went to the political parties. Remember, we dealt with the political parties. She will audit the money that has gone there. Money that went to the public debt. Any money that went to any government office will be audited by the Auditor-General. So, the Auditor-General is the eye of the citizen on all monies collected by government. The Auditor-General in 2298 says, within 3 months after receiving an audit report, she will present that report to Parliament. And Parliament will look at those reports, read it, and within 3 months after receiving an audit report, Parliament or the County Assembly shall debate and consider the report and take appropriate action. Parliament is the Auditor-General reports to Parliament. Parliament discusses, the County Assembly reports, debates the Auditor-General's report, the national parliaments discuss this and take the relevant report. And that is why, after the Auditor-General provides the report, you see Parliament summoning all those government officers. Why? It is Parliament that gave them the money in a budget. The auditor has audited. They must be called to answer the queries. And that is the power of the County Assembly, and that is the power of the National Assembly. The third entity is what is called the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Who sets the salaries of the president? Who decides how much a judge earns? Who decides how much an MCA earns? Remember, they don't decide what they pay themselves. The law, the Constitution, created what is called the Salaries and Remuneration Commission under Article 230. What is the mandate of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission? In 234, it says, the powers of the functions of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission shall be: 1, to set and regularly review the remuneration and the benefits of all state officers. It sets and reviews salaries and remuneration of all state officers. 2, advise the national and county governments on the remuneration and the benefits of all public officers. Therefore, it is the one that decides how much salary members of parliament will get, how much benefits you are going to get. All public officers, it is the Salaries and Remuneration Commission that sets your salary. Stop disturbing your employer. All decisions about your salary and remuneration goes to the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, not Parliament, not the judiciary. So today you know, this is an independent commission that has a security of tenure. Then from there, we now go to the Central Bank of Kenya. Very many people don't know that Central Bank of Kenya is your bank. What is the mandate of the CBK? In 231, Article 231, it says there is established the Central Bank of Kenya. What is the mandate of the Central Bank of Kenya? It has 4 mandates. Listen today. How does it affect you? 1. In 231(2), the Central Bank of Kenya shall be responsible for formulating monetary policy, promoting price stability, issuing currency, and performing other functions conferred by the law. The dollars, it is the foreign policy, financial policy. The central bank is the one that decides what is the exchange rate. The central bank is the one that decides how much interest you take a loan from a bank. How much interest will you pay? The central bank, you remember when President William Ruto came, the dollar was exchanging at 170. It is the central bank that regulates the foreign exchange rate. Until now, we are exchanging at 128. 3. The Central Bank of Kenya shall not be under the direction of or control of anybody. 4. Notes and coins that are issued by Kenya, the money that you have in your pocket is printed by central bank. The old coins, the old money is collected and taken back to central bank. Remember, it is an offense to deface a legal tender. A legal tender is the money that you are carrying. If you are found spoiling it, you are found tearing it, you are fined, it is an offense to deal with that. Central bank regulates the banks. All the banks in this country get licenses from the central bank. It is the regulator of the banks. Any bank that misbehaves, central bank will take over, will take punitive action. Wakili Danstan Omari has brought to you chapter 12 that deals with public finance. Where the money comes from, how the money is collected, who has power to authorize it, the manner in which that money is supposed to be spent. Keep watching as we move to chapter 13, where we are dealing with the public service. Wish you all the best. See you and keep watching. Thank you very much.